Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Let me turn that down a little bit. Yo, shalom to the fam, man. Shalom to the fam. Peace and blessings to everybody that's coming in. Make sure everything's looking right, sounding right. Shabbat shalom, Kohath. What's up, my brother? Your guy in the building. Shalom to you. Y'all know what time it is, man. Give everybody a few more minutes to come on in, man. One of our my other channel. Well, let me be quiet. The other route that you will be able to find me on and find brothers on at MOTC, no surprises, has been suspended again. Yeah, that's right, again. Man, they won't let us breathe, man. And it's very interesting. Something I'm gonna share in a minute. Was something that I noticed. Something that I noticed. And that means that you're putting it to work, right? All praises, man. All praises, man. That means you're putting that thing to work. You exercising that sword, man. You keeping it sharp. I've replaced Bibles what 3-4 times now. In my what am I going on? 28 years, going on 28 years in this truth. Yeah. So you definitely gonna wear out the edges of that sword and gonna have to sharpen up again, man. That's part of the process. But all praises, man. You putting it to work. Egypt to Israel. Shabbat shalom, man. Shabbat shalom. All right. I'm gonna get started in 1 second, man. I just want to make sure the signal's coming in cool. Okay, looks like it's all right. Looks like it's all right. Give me 1 more second, y'all. It's Friday Night Lights. Did y'all take your naps? That's the biggest question. Because we got to go in again tonight, man. We got to get busy tonight. Hopefully everybody's well, man. We made it in 6 days of labor, 7th day. We made it. All praises, right? Now it's time to reconvene in the spirit. Now it's time to be amongst fellow believers. Now it's time to be in tune, recharging in the spirit with the Most High, man, giving them all praise, honor, and glory. In the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, in the name of the anointed Savior of Israel, we do this, right? Yeah, so like I was saying, man, it's interesting how this YouTube thing works. Our channel, the other channel, man, my IQ channel. Hold on. My IQ channel. Again, no surprises there, man. Got suspended again, right? Now, the ironic thing is with YouTube, when they suspend us, they don't say what I said or what it's about. I mean, 9 out of 10, damn near 10 out of 10 times, the channels get suspended because of something I supposedly said or did. But they don't say what it is. They'll just say, "Oh, you broke community guidelines. You said something that didn't agree with the WHO or the CDC." And then when I ask and I try to appeal and I say, "What did I say? Give me a timestamp. Let me know so I can, be a little bit better at presenting my information in the future, and we don't bump heads." Do you think that they do me that favor? You think they do me that solid? Hell no. They sent back an automated response saying, "Oh, we reviewed your appeal and we still found that you broke community guidelines." And there was nothing to appeal. I asked questions looking for a human response. Don't get it. There was another time, the previous time, what did they do? The previous time they suspended the channel, same thing. And typically they'll let you review the content. They will let you review. They'll take it off of YouTube. Then they'll say you can, you review the content so you can see what happened. They wouldn't even let me review it. They completely disappeared the video. So I couldn't appeal. I couldn't even say nothing. So, outside of that, I've seen and other brothers have seen and sent videos to me and to our general communication group that we have at MOTC, individuals saying worse than me. I mean, holding no punches. I'm trying to code language, the whole nine. It was just one Edomite, man. This cat had over 300,000 views in a matter of days, speaking on the current affairs in regards to the plague. And this dude gave a disclaimer. He said, before he said disclaimer, if you even think about taking this video down, we're gonna come get you. And he said, "Oh, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. I'm just saying, we're gonna hunt you down." I mean, this dude laid out threats against you, the whole nine, and asked me if that video's still up. You damn right. I don't have the complexion for the connection, obviously. But you know what? That's not even true. I've seen Jakes in the world doing a similar thing in regard to speaking on current event topics or whatever. Just from brothers sending me videos like, "Man, can you believe this? They letting this Jake say this and you can't say." And I'll be just looking like, but you know what it is that the Spirit told me is that number one, they don't want the truth getting out, and they're trying to stifle any particular momentum that we garner over here, because it's really about us waking up the children of Israel, man. Those other channels, they're not doing that. They're just trying to wake up the general public, which is cool, whatever. It doesn't mean that their information is off. The information is solid. However, what they do is they look at these other channels, these bigger channels, as revenue. If you getting 300, 400,000 views and they got ads and they allowing money, that's how YouTube is getting its money. That's what the Spirit came into. I said, man, they're allowing these bigger platforms to say all of this stuff and let them ride because they're making money off of it. They're not making money off of this channel here. So the easier thing is squash them like grapes, man, and get them up out of here. But we'll keep the ones that's talking crazy, making threats and all of that, and continue garnering money from them and their channels. That's the only thing I can think of, man. Outside of them just trying to squander the truth. But enough of that, man. Enough of ranting, man. Enough of raving, man. Shabbat shalom, Ivan. Shabbat shalom. Yahweh Shem Yeshua Barakatah to you, my brother. Who else in the house? Brother Sam, shalom, brother. Shalom, man. Shabbat shalom. Aladad in the house. Shalom to you, my older brother. Uziel in the house. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, we good. We are good to go, man. So, our other means of communication, let's put it like that, because YouTube even talk about, you better not have another channel either. I mean, this thing is getting ridiculous, man. But nonetheless, other form of communication to be down for a couple weeks is what it is, man. They ain't gonna stop this truth. You can't. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. Let's look it up in 2 Corinthians 13. And it'd be nice if I shared my screen. And man, did y'all wipe your feet before you came in, man? That's all I'm really concerned with. Did you wipe your feet before you came in the house? Now is the best time to support the channel. You dig what I'm saying? Because they're definitely trying to get rid of brothers. Wipe your feet, man. Come on in. It's all good. The plates are still warm. I cooked before the sun went down. How about that? You feel me? And that's how we going, man. So lock in with me, y'all. Here we go. Uh, just on the note of um, their constant harassment, a brother speaking the truth, man, and trying to stifle the awakening of the Lord's chosen people. They can't do it, man. You cannot do it. I repeat. That's why they got, Tom Cruise doing Mission Impossible. This is that mission that's impossible. And what better Edomite to play the role? Because it's letting you know, man, you can't stop this thing, man. 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Every time they try to stifle the truth, every time they try to slander, that only opens the eyes of people to be more inquisitive, to make them want to find out, well, what are they talking about? Who are these black Jews? Who are these brown Jews? Who are these? Why are they saying Hispanics? Why are they saying it's going to set them out on the path and on the journey to wake up? And as you're seeing, people are waking up in droves. They're leaving the churches. The smelling salts, spiritual smelling salts is going underneath their noses, and people is like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm smelling something. I'm awake now. What am I doing sitting in this damn pulpit, or why am I sitting over here in these pews all of these years, paying my money in a zombified stupor, and I ain't learned nothing?" Hey, those guys over there, they're on to something over there. My spirit is telling me that's the truth. They said, man, attendance is down in the churches. It says either they're leaving the church, period, and entertaining either other doctrines or turning atheists, or they're just not returning to the church for in-person services. So attendance is down. That's why you've seen Jamal Bryant. That's why you've seen Jamal Bryant talking about he's looking for people that smell like weed, so he can try to entice, brothers to come on in and sisters to come on in. He wants drug addicts. Why? Because the church already is a drug. The church already has people, zombied out in them spiritual crack houses. So it's par for the course, man. But you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. So how about that, man? All right, so let's get to the message at hand, man. There's a lot of things going on in the earth, man. Who I miss? Who I miss? Ashara Rock, man. Shabbat Shalom to you. He's saying Shabbat Shalom to all of Israel, man. I'm with you on that, my good brother. Did I miss anybody else? All right, look like everybody's solid. What? 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 Hey, where you been hiding at, my beloved sister? Shalom, shalom, my sister. Shabbat shalom. Hopefully you well. Hopefully you well. Right? I ain't seen you in a minute, but hopefully everything's good with you. Finally, hello. I'm still rocking, even though they, been hating and suspending channels and doing all kind of manners. We still rolling. We still rolling, man. Good to see you, though, sis. Good to see you. All right, let's get to the business at hand, man. Let me get back to the beginning. Let's get back to the beginning of this thing, as they say. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I think I misplaced something. Give me 1 second. Oh, they got you slaving like that, huh? What you working like a graveyard shift or something? Some late night swing shift? Brutal, brutal. But good to see you well. Good to see you well. All right. So, you know what? Before we start, let's get into a few scriptures. As usual. Let's get into a few scriptures. The time is at hand, man. Time is at hand, right? We're seeing a lot of things unfolding. We're seeing a lot of people, if y'all noticed, and I flashing back, and I'm not going to speculate on the cause. You can draw your own conclusion. But yeah, 3 celebrity deaths this week to go along with the others that have fallen. You had Pele, world-renowned soccer player, man, game changer. Um, our Brazilian brother passed away earlier this week after a battle with colon cancer. I just heard about Barbara Walters gave up the ghost today. Sayonara to her. And then some other Edomite fashion stylist or something. She was like in her 70s. She gave up the ghost. So you know, the elder people, Pele, they said it was colon cancer. But be prepared. We're gonna see and hear about a lot more deaths coming up as numbers start unfolding, and we start seeing some of the causes, some of the reasons. And I'm not gonna say nothing else, but you already know what time it is. No surprises there. Look at this. Revelation 16:15. It says, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame." Well, what in the world is John receiving through revelation from Mashiach Yahushua, man? He said he's going to come as a thief. So when you're least expecting it, while everybody's asleep, while nobody's guarding the door, nobody's got the bolts on lock, everybody's open, everybody's preparing to go and turn up and pop bottles this weekend, thinking something new is getting ready to happen and occur. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Outside of that, everybody's caught up looking at their likes, their followers, their subscriptions, looking at how to make more content, looking to, be seen some more, looking for their best angle in their view. You dig what I'm saying? Looking at how they can scrape up some money. So they'll, sisters looking how they can scrape up some cash and go, trick a little sucker so she can get her boobs done and get some belly fat sucked out, transferred into her butt. I mean, this is what everybody's into right now. Brothers is out running around, man, getting high, trying to figure out how they can scam, get some more money so that they can go give the money to the women so they can look however they, look like some comic book characters. Or they looking to fashionably try to keep themselves up with the Joneses and spend all their money and try to put it right back into the system. That's oppressive now. Knocking on the door of the so-called white man, begging for reparations, and he's saying, "Get the hell off my lawn, nigga. You're not getting nothing out of this." Watching a whole psychological warfare operation go on between the small hat GMO community against us, and then got some brown nosing, crack addicted Christian apologetics trying to uphold the narrative laid out by their white masters. It's unreal, all the madness that's going on. But you know what? The Most High said, "Blessed is he that watcheth." You got to watch. You got to see what the heck's going on here. And keepeth his garments. Well, what's the garments? What's the garments? Let's look at a few things. We know Ephesians 6. Even the dumbed down, Christians can wipe the drool off of their mouth when they wake up out of their little zombie state and say this one, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood." They got that one down, along with John 3:16, and along with what is it? 1 John 5. We're talking about God is love. But they know that much. But let's look at this. Ephesians 6:12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." Well, we have to identify, who are these rulers operating in darkness that's setting forth the standards of wickedness, unrighteousness, all manners of debauchery, lies, hypocrisy, war, famine, and pestilence. I mean, who's establishing all of these things? Who's putting those things out? There are rulers that's in place that's doing these things. And we can't just be dumbed down and say, "Oh, that's Satan. That's the devil." Well, it said rulers with an S on the end. He's got agents that's working for him. But we got to understand and know that if we're operating, we're moving in the spirit, these powers and principalities, they operate on a whole nother covert level. Everything just ain't, shackles and chains right in your face. You dig what I'm saying? They ain't operating like that right now. It's more covert, it's more spiritual, much more subtle. Because now he's got to get even more covert because what? We're in the information age. Everybody has the crystal balls in their pockets and in their purses, and all they got to do is swipe or even talk to the damn phone, and it's gonna talk back to you. Ask them what you want. Hey Siri, Alexa, uh, what's the other one on Windows? Cortana or whatever the hell the name is. You feel me? Like that. That's why they're saying, "Oh, well, we got to get a lot more slick and a lot more covert in how we're moving with this whole thing." So we have no chance wrestling flesh and blood with these demons. They're operating in a world that goes again. I mean, that satisfies our flesh, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. 1 John 2:15-16. Right? He said, "Love not the world and neither the things that's in it." They operate and empower themselves in them things. So because we're in this flesh, we gotta weaken the flesh so that the spirit can actually fight against these things. Right? It said against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. These spirits and these demons is out there highly operating on high levels of witchcraft, high levels of debauchery. I mean, they into it all. We've seen it through the pedophile rings with the kids. We've seen it through the rising of the crime rates. You wonder like what is wrong with people nowadays? You looking like these people are really possessed. The way that these spirits be moving on people, and people say, "Oh, it's the 5G." Okay, that's part of the thing. I'm not gonna deny that technology because we got hip to that technology in shoot, I want to say 97, 98 about microwave towers and all the intentions that this was like early cell phone usage. And I remember one of the brothers in the old camp, man, it came up on some information talking about the microwave towers and how the so-called white man was going to use these things with the cell phone communications and the radio waves and everything else that's going to interfere with the body and electricity in the body and all kind of madness. But it was going to ultimately turn people upside down, very similar to what you've seen on Kingsman and all that other stuff. That's essentially where they got the whole concept. But we're talking Kingsman came out what 8 years ago, maybe less than that. And we talking about 4 years, 25 years before that this stuff was already being talked about. Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. They're operating on higher levels, attacking our spirits, breaking jakes down. That's why you're seeing Israel all over the damn place. Some is following this doctor, some is following that, some is falling off. Doubt, all of those things is coming into play. But that lets you know the times that we in. So let's get back to the garments. All right, verse 13. Wherefore take you up the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. You know what? Let's get up. Let's get to it. So it says, being girded with the truth, right? So, what's the truth? Thy righteousness is the everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So we have to be girded in the laws of the Most High to be protected in the spiritual battle. That's the only thing that's going to regulate the flesh, is abiding by the laws of the Most High. If we resort to our own devices and try to figure, man, I'm gonna discipline my flesh, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and come up with your own policies and plans, and the Most High said, listen, I already told you how to do it. It's already been written. What are you sitting up here trying to reinvent the wheel for? Right? You ain't got to. So it says, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So we cannot go anywhere without number one, Yahweh Shai being the word. He's our king. He goes before us. No man can enter any other way but through him, right? We also know that the word is the actual literal word of the Most High. Joshua 1:8 says, thou shalt meditate therein day and night, for then thou shalt have good success. Then the Most High is going to bless us and prosper by meditating on the word. The helmet of salvation, truly understanding about the knowledge about who salvation is for. That's what keeps us in alignment with the will of the Most High, because once we know about salvation being for us, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, it's for us, then that becomes part of our helmet, our knowledge base. That makes our heads stronger than adamant, as it says in Ezekiel 3. In flint, right? And the sword of the Spirit. So we're seeing the armor of the garments that we need to put on. Let's look at Job. Job 29. Job 29 says, I put on righteousness and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem. So now we're seeing how the Most High wants us to be girded up. What he tell us? Get girded up in righteousness. Get girded up in righteousness. Well, what's righteousness? We should know this. This is a review for some, for others. We got to know. Isaiah 51. Look at this. Hearken unto me, ye that know what righteousness. But you got to know it. You got to have knowledge of righteousness. That's who needs to be listening. The people in whose heart is what? My law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings. So he told us that righteousness are those that hearken unto the laws of the Most High. That's the only way we can receive that true covering that the Most High is talking about being girded up in. Deuteronomy 6:25, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he hath commanded us. So we're clearly seeing how we need to be girded up. We need to be watching. We need to be clothed in righteousness, the shield of faith, helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, our feet shod, feet ready and prepared, just like we seen in in the Exodus chapter 12 with the Passover. Said that we're supposed to eat with our goings, loins girded. I don't know why I was going to say goings. Our loins girded, right? Let me look at one more. So now's the time. If you have not began, and this is for, I'm not talking to brothers and sisters that know. It's for the ones that see it on the back end, the ones that be popping in and want to look at the replay and still searching, trying to figure it out. It ain't time to be trying to figure it out no more, man. If you don't realize what you need to be doing as a man or a woman of the Lord by now, you'll never get it. Now's the time to be proactive. Isaiah 61:10. I will greatly rejoice in the Most High Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my power. He hath clothed me with garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. So we're the bride. Christ is our groom. Bride is the bridegroom. I mean, we don't have to get into that whole analogy, but we all should know that by now, right? And we have to be girded up, preparing ourselves for the wedding, preparing ourselves to be rejoined with our husband, right? Being clothed with garments of salvation. That's how the Most High wants us to get prepared. So when he told us in Revelation 16 that we need to watch and have our what was we at 16:15? Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. That's what ended up happening. Let's say going all the way back to the garden. We talk about seeing, quote unquote, Adam and Eve being naked. They were shamed because they went against the commandment of the Most High. When the Most High told them not to partake and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but they're only supposed to partake of the tree of life, they were shamed. They was caught out there butt naked. And that's why the Most High said that anyone who doesn't partake or doesn't, participate in girding themselves up with the clothes of righteousness and all the armor of the Most High, he said, you're going to be out there naked, caught slipping, and your shame is going to be revealed. We don't want that to happen. All right. Let's get to these current events, man. A lot going on the war front. I said I wasn't going to go there, but hey, every time I look up, something going down, right? So, matter of fact, before we go there, let me get one more. Let's get the classic. Matthew 24 and the 6th verse. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we're seeing here the Most High said all these things have to come to pass, but we're going to hear about what? Wars and rumors of wars. It has to happen. We're going to see it in order to understand and know that we're going to be entering in on the beginning of sorrows. That's when we're going to start entering into Jacob's trouble. All of those things, when we start seeing all of these things, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom, famine, pestilence, earthquakes, diverse places, we're seeing it in spurts and sprouts all over the place, but they're happening more rapidly, just like the scriptures say in regards to a woman in travail, as if she was preparing for childbirth. Now they're happening even more rapidly. Verse 22, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So we all pray and hope that we're of the elect, but at the same time, the Most High said that the days have to be cut short, because if you leave things in the hands of the so-called white man and the nations, everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Whole lot of nuke talk going on right now. Wars on different fronts all throughout the world. Some of these things isn't, when we talk about world wars, it isn't always just, there is going to be, don't get me wrong, there is going to be a conglomerate of nations coming against America and their minor allies. But we're going to start seeing, what we're going to look at right now is wars going on amongst different nations and different parts of the globe. So again, we'll see world wars in that fashion as well. So look at this. China sails warships near Guam in a warning to the U.S. over Taiwan. So China and Taiwan are still going at it. I know behind the scenes, Esau telling Taiwan, cool out. China, we're going to try to keep them tame. We can't afford to go to it. We can't afford another war right now. Ukraine is draining our pockets right now. We can't get a decisive victory right now. We can't, slander the whole situation enough. They've done enough with sending the weapons. They got troops over there. They're sending money. They're doing everything. They can't stretch themselves thin and then jump over here too. So they're trying to slow things down. But China's pushing. So China has sailed one of its 3 aircraft carriers near the U.S. territory in Guam. Japanese officials confirmed ending an already combative year with a rare move that Beijing signaled as a clear warning to the Biden administration over Taiwan. The Chinese fleet, led by the aircraft carrier Liaoning, whatever, had already spurred several clashes with the U.S. allies in the region, with its tour of Western Pacific, most recently by conducting roughly 260 takeoff and landing drills near the Japanese island of Okinawa, home to a major U.S. military presence. So China's, sailing this warship close to U.S. territory, which is Guam, right? And that's near the coast of Japan, which is another ally. So Japan's on alert. Japan's been ducking missiles from North Korea for the last 3 months. Now they over here finding themselves seeing China encroach on them, and they go tell White Zaddy, hey, we just seen a Chinese warship over here, White Zaddy. What you gonna do? Help. And then Taiwan is saying, oh, that was made for us. Or maybe that was made for the US. The operations prompted the Japanese Air Force to scramble fighter jets and helicopters, as well as a destroyer and other elements of its self-defense forces. So everybody's paranoid. Everybody's on edge. Everybody's wondering, and is it on now? Is there what do we need to move? assemble the troops, launch the the aircraft carriers, load up the missiles. Every little move, everybody's on edge, man. So at the drop of a dime, anything can happen. Let's move on. South Korea sends drones to Kim Jong Un's airspace in an unprecedented move. We're starting to see a stirring of the pot, a stirring of the pot of these people right here, the Asian nations, Moab, Ammon. They're starting to turn up now. Why? Because they have to face judgment as well. This is why you see him over here. Second Ezra 15. And I want to start up. Let's start right here. Second Ezra 15:46 says, "And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her persons." So, who's partakers of the hope of Babylon? Taiwan, Japan, China. You say China? I thought China. But China's got all kind of exports, business, real estate development, and land over here. I mean, they on the front lines, they out there talking big stuff, man. But on the back end, they still handling business and still getting money with America. So at the end of the day, what matters most is diplomacy and money. But as soon as China, Russia, Brazil, South Africa, and India get their BRICS economy going, China can finally cut the umbilical cord off of the so-called white man of America and start lobbying with Russia and the other nations. So as of right now, they're still needing and sucking on the tit of the great whore to try to maintain themselves, gobbling the poisonous venom of the damn beast. And that's why the Most High said they're going to be destroyed. Because they're partakers of the hope of Babylon, man. They trying to uphold the great whore, man. They holding her up. She want to fall down. She been wore out. They like, no. Prop her up. Verse 47, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. See, they want to mimic the so-called white man. That's why China's trying to rush out there. They want to try to be the next world global economy. They want to have the back, the U.S. back security. I mean, the global currency. Right now, the dollar is the world's reserve currency. They want to help create a new one so that they can try to take over. They think they've got next. After the fall of America, China's the next big power. And has decked thy daughters in whoredom. So who's the daughters of China? You're looking at Taiwan and all the other minor nations, Asian nations that, are subjected to China. They're all turned out. They're trying to be like China's trying to arrange themselves to be a great whore. They want to be the new madam. They ain't going down. That they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredoms with thee. So people going after China. China's over there in Africa, giving them money and grants and trying to take care of them. Meanwhile, over there, raping and pillaging the resources, colonizing the lands. But ain't a place that, the damn Moabite isn't. You look around the earth, man, there's Chinatowns everywhere. They got Chinatowns in Jamaica, Chinatowns in Venezuela. They got Chinatowns in Panama. No, not Venezuela. Panama, I mean. Chinatowns in damn all places in Africa. We had I had a little business opportunity. We'll just leave it at that, man. I had a small little investment trying to see if I can get some help with some mining opportunities to help support some brothers over there in Ghana. And their number one competition was China. Damn Moabites was over there hustling and trying to scrape up all the damn gold they could over there. So that's how they run around here trying to have everybody commit whoredoms with them, man. They out there spending the money, They're monopolizing and trying to, take advantage of people. That's why when the DSTM I did last week, which subsequently I had to take down because it was going to get targeted to this channel, so I had to take it down. So anybody that missed last week and didn't get opportunity, I don't have. I had to take it down because that was the one that they took it down for. What I say every time? Help me out. You start laughing. What do I say? Leave that comment, man. Don't be leaving me hanging. If it's something that I'm repeat being repetitive of, I'm not gonna say it no more, or at least I'll try not to. Hold on, I lost my place. It's like it. Let me get back over here. Oops, like it. So, verse 48, it says, "Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee." Well, who's getting plagued and hit right now after they drop their zero tolerance policy? In regards to the thing that's running around. Now they talking about over 250 million people are infected. They got all kind of madness going on over there. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But we see somebody getting hit with plagues, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste our houses with destruction and death. And who's that coming to? Oh, Asia. So let's continue on and see what's going on. So South Korea sends drones to Kim Jong-un's airspace in an unprecedented move. When you see words like that, I always say it, unprecedented. That means that we're embarking on a historic moment. This is something that we take note of. South Korea is sending drones invading Kim Jong-un's airspace. Now, why would they want to do that when this dude is out here testing missiles every week, looking for somebody to act a fool? And who would do it? His arch rival, South Korea. South Korea sent drones across the border into North Korea for the first time on Monday, an unprecedented tit-for-tat military move after Kim Jong-un's regime dispatched 5 unmanned aerial vehicles into its airspace. The exchange of drones, which briefly stopped flights from taking off at the major airports from near Seoul, came as Kim opened a major political meeting to set security, economic, and political policy for the coming year, the official Korean Central News Agency reported Tuesday. He spent the past year improving his atomic arsenal, showing no interest in returning to nuclear disarmament talks that have been stalled for 3 years. So he's on his way. And now South Korea, North Korea throwing jabs at each other. Let's see if anybody hits something. Taiwan extends mandatory military service to combat Chinese threat. So again, we're seeing paranoia kicking in even worse for the Taiwanese. They said that they're now going to have to extend the military service is mandatory in Taiwan. You got to serve at least 1 year. We'll read about it in a second. You got to serve 1 year. They're expanding that now because they know they might need able-bodied men to get out there and get busy in the coming years. Taiwan will extend its compulsory military service from 4 months to 1 year. You see that? That means that their mandatory service, you had to enlist in the military for 4 months to serve your quote unquote country. They said 4 months. No, that's not going to be long enough because if we get busy with China, we're going to need all hands on deck. Extend that to a year. Year mandatory. You got to serve the military. A sign the island sees intensifying Chinese threats as so severe that it must reverse its previous policy that minimized conscription. China's expansion of military aggression continues to impact the international order, threatens regional peace and stability, and affects cross-strait relations. Cross-strait relations said the existing system does not meet combative readiness requirements. The change to a longer period of service is set to take effect in 2024. Men born after 2005 will be required to serve in the military for a year. Sometime after reaching the age of 19 and before turning 37, military service is optional for women. So we're seeing how they're getting ready. They're getting ready to, increase their military strength as far as bodies are concerned. By 2024, they're expecting to have some hands on deck ready to rock, at least for a year. So we're looking at in the coming, year or two, they're expecting some war to go down. Oh, look at it. Not now. Europe, a second war threatens to explode. So not only are you already dealing with Ukraine and Russia and the NATO allies in America that's, intermingling into this whole thing. Now you got North Korea and South Korea. You got Taiwan and China. Lord knows what's going on over there in Africa. I think Ethiopia and they had some civil war going on over there. They just kind of calmed that thing down. Haiti has got war going on over there. We know it's still drug wars going on. Drug wars are still happening down in Mexico with corruption and everything else. I mean, it's all going down. Not now, Europe. Look at this. As Russia unprovoked, they always use that unprovoked war. We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go there. As Russia's unprovoked war in Ukraine heads towards its 1-year anniversary, another European flashpoint is in danger of reigniting a second war on the continent. Kosovo was at the center of the last all-out war in Europe in the late 90s, and tensions there have never fully dissipated. Serbian President Alexander Vučić has this week put his army on its, quote, highest level of combat readiness to protect ethnic Serbian areas in northern Kosovo he says are under threat from Kosovo. Vučić says his military will, quote, take all measures to protect our people and preserve Serbia. On December 10th, ethnic Serbs in the north erected 9 roadblocks that essentially divide the area where some 50,000 ethnic Serbs live, angering the Kosovo government in Pristina, which is led by an Albanian majority. So, bottom line, Esau is warring with themselves. And like I said last week, man, let the heathen scrap it out with each other, man. We sit back and get our garments on and prepared for deliverance. So you got the Serbs against the Albanians. You got the Ukrainians against the Russians. You got the Chinese and the Taiwanese going at it. These are all civil war. Let the heathen fight themselves. For once, we can watch them fight and kill each other instead of them watching us kill each other all the damn time. How about that? I would rather watch that than watch my people destroy each other, killing each other over damn drugs, women, men, money, shoes, video games, TV remotes. Yeah, that happened a couple years ago. Brother killed his uncle, I think it was his uncle, over the TV remote. You talk about 5G. Good Lord. Here we go. All right, so look at this. The UN is saying this, has said nuclear war is back within the realm of possibility. What we just seen last week, Putin said he's arming his Satan II missile, preparing it for deployment. NATO scrambling around, getting themselves armed up. You got smaller nations over there saying we want nukes too. I forgot what nation within NATO that was. They were saying we want nukes as well. Iran is already on the loose. They've ignored all sanctions and they're getting ready to exercise their nuclear technology. They said they can have a nuke ready within a year. So it says here are the places in the U.S. most likely to be hit in a nuclear attack. So there they go, back talking about America getting hit. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says this year that the nuclear war is, quote, back within the realm of possibility. The UN Secretary General said that the nuclear war is back within the realm of possibility following Russia's warning earlier this year. It was putting its nuclear forces on alert amid its war in Ukraine, which threatens to draw NATO into direct combat with Russia. Since then, nuclear threats have continued to raise concerns a nuclear weapon could be used in a conflict for the first time in decades. Much of the focus has been of late has been on the risk of Russian President Vladimir Putin using a nuclear weapon in Ukraine in a desperate move to change his army's fortunes on the battlefield. But the Russian leader has also directed warnings at the U.S. and NATO. So of course they're going to say if anything goes down, if a nuke is used, Putin did it, right? But if we remember some months ago when two of them cats in Poland got killed when a missile hit on the borders of Poland, they was quick to say, "Oh, Putin did it his own," and the Ukrainian president Zelensky, he was up, "Hey man, it was Putin, it was Putin." And within 24 hours, they was like, mm, that was a Ukrainian missile, man. Y'all did that." Oh, it was an accident. Misguided. Yeah. So, false flag, anyone? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a boogeyman to blame the agenda on. So, once you hear the UN talking about, oh, nukes is back in the realm of possibility, but it's going to come from Putin now. How do we know that, man? White man says the devil. You don't know who to trust. Russia's Lavrov. Either Ukraine fulfills Moscow's proposal or our army will decide. So, bottom line, Russia's stepping their game up. Why? Because Russian areas now have actually been bombed. Russia's actually incurred some damages. So now they're saying, okay, we're getting ready to start launching these missiles off at you. We're shutting down the power. They already been out of power. I think they said 50% of Ukraine is without power right now. Let me make sure that's still accurate, because it could be worse now. It could be worse. Let's see. Well, it says 60% of Kiev is without electricity, rolling blackouts. And that was as of November. 2 days ago. Yeah, well, there you go. Ukraine news latest, almost half of Kiev left without power as waves of devastating Russian. They're going to talk about them Russians hitting up the power grid. I mean, the missiles hitting up the power grid. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. So here we see what Russia's putting out ultimatums now. They already said peace is off the table. We're not doing that. So either Ukraine has to bow down, and that means NATO and America is going to have to bow down to Russia, or they said the military is going to make the decision. They're going to have to really start letting all hell break loose. Moscow's proposal for settlement in Ukraine are well known to Kiev, and either Ukraine fulfills them for their own good, or the Russian army will decide the issue. TASS agency quoted Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov as saying, "Our proposals for the demilitarization and the denazification of the territories controlled by the regime, the elimination of threats to Russia's security emanating from there, including our new lands, are well known to the enemy," the state news agency quoted Lavrov as saying late on Monday. "The point is simple: fulfill them for your own good. Otherwise, the issue will be decided by the Russian army." Moscow has been calling the invasion of Ukraine a, quote, special military operation to demilitarize and denazify its neighbor. Kiev and its Western allies call it an imperial-style aggression to grab land. We're not even going to talk about the politics of that. We did that before. We already know what this is all about. But we see here, Russia's laying it down. Bow down to our demands, or all hell's going to break loose. They've been playing light. They've been playing nice of late, but no more. No more. Look at this. Smug Putin poses in his office as he oversees new warships just hours after pummeling Ukraine with 120 missiles in his biggest onslaught for weeks. Devastating aftermath is laid bare as sobbing locals find homes destroyed. Now, this is interesting. I read this article, right? You can find, look. Look at this. Russia passes 100,000 dead in Ukraine. Russia hits grim milestone as 100,000 troops killed since the start of the brutal war with Ukraine, right? There are over 100,000 dead. They say Russians are dead. Now, when you read this article, right, it said 120 missiles was launched by the Russians. Do you know this article said there was no deaths? I mean, you figure out the Twilight Zone foolishness with that. No deaths. They said 3 people was injured. 3 people was injured. Other than that, everybody, a bunch of homes got lost. Um, a power grid station got hit up. I mean, nobody was in these homes. Nobody was home. The knock knock. No, hello. Nobody's there. Missile on the way. Nobody died. But you can see hundreds of thousands. Over 100,000 Russians is dead, and I mean, either they just the blatant foolishness, man, that they put out there. You mean to tell me that you can launch 100 to 120 missiles and just miss that bad that you nobody died? Okay, all right. Putin today commissioned several warships and submarines for Russian Navy. It came hours after Russian forces conducted a major bombardment of Ukraine. Presidential advisors said between 100 and 120 rockets and drones hit Ukraine today. Rockets targeted Kiev, a second city of Kharkiv, and several other urban populations. Urban populations. That means the people inhabit these places. Attacks followed swiftly after the Kremlin rejected Zelensky's peace proposals. So you tell me, are we looking at a wag the dog moment? Does this sound plausible? We're talking 120 missiles hitting 3 different cities and urban populations, and only 3 people got injured. Okay, let me leave that one alone. I mean, put a 7 in the chat, man, if you think that's BS. The death toll just keeps rising with the Russians, but when the Russians go on attack, they're hitting nothing. But Zelensky is trying to present peace talks. If you're winning the war, it sounds like the person that should be waving the white flag should be Putin. You're running around campaigning, going to the nations and coming to America, begging for more money, begging for more weapons, saying help, but they're winning. There's a massive, psychological warfare going on with this whole thing, man. They got people out here believing the hype, and the Kool-Aid of the great whore is strong. But that's why the scriptures got to tell us, man. We got to watch. We got to see what these devils are doing, man, because there's obviously some folly going on, and they're trying to downplay what Russia's been on because America does not want everybody being intimidated at the strength that the Russians could have. Because once you hear, oh, they done blew up this, that, and the third, they season it, then the reality of them turning their head towards America and having people over here now be scared is what they don't want. Don't worry, everything's under control. These aren't the drones you're looking for, as Obi-Wan Kenobi said in Star Wars. It's a Jedi mind trick. Nothing's really going on, but something is going on. See a lot of 7s going on, man. All right, so y'all with me. I'm not tripping. I'm not the only one to see some BS, man. But okay. Let me get back over here. All right, let's get to it. All right. Look at this. Now I know everybody didn't heard about it, man. Everybody knows what's been going on. The massive snowstorms that's been happening in the Midwest, the East Coast getting bombarded and got hit heavy last weekend. This week, Buffalo has been the highlight of everything. I think maybe about 20 minutes from Buffalo's Niagara Falls. Did y'all see the images of Niagara Falls? It's frozen over. It's so cold, the water's frozen. And I've seen that happen before. So I'm not saying it's something ironic, but just the imagery that you see. Houses completely frozen over. People dying in their cars. I heard the poor sister, man, the nursing student, died in her car. because she couldn't drive no further. She couldn't see. You can't get around. So she figured she could shelter in the car and help will eventually come. Help ain't coming. Help ain't come. But look what's going on. And again, this always goes back to what we talk about all the time, man. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I'm not saying that you can have everything on deck and not a word care in the world. Everybody ain't balling like that. Everybody ain't got the preparation knowledge like that to just be off the grid to have and be without. But if you had some things in order, you could save yourself a whole lot of damn hell. But look at this. After deadly buffalo blizzard, families are scrambling to find food and essentials. Now it's kill or be killed over there. Now it's, second as a 15. With people trying to find food. We're already there. Look at this. Second as a 15, 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. The men shall be afraid. That's what we're seeing over there right now. Cities troubled. I mean, now they're talking about preparing for massive flooding. Once the ice melts, they're afraid floods is going to happen. I mean, you see what happens with the hurricanes. You see what happens with the tornadoes, the rainstorms. Now we're seeing all of this cold kicking in. People are dying. People are freezing. People don't have food. People are expecting help from 911, and they're saying we can't get to you because we're freezing. You're not driving. They're not driving in the middle of a damn blizzard and snowstorm trying to find your street and your block. Everything is froze over. They can't even tell what street they're on. I seen a video in Seattle, and they were talking about the black ice. I mean, they showing cops crawling on the ground trying to get into their cars because the ground is so slippery. Cars sliding all over the place. People falling all over the place. When that ground freezes, man, that black ice hits, you can forget about it. It's like trying to walk on an ice cube barefoot. Like, it's not happening. We're not even barefoot. Let's say some karate shoes. Them things was all slippery. For those that remember the karate shoes. But this is what we're seeing right now. Houses shall be destroyed. We seen all them houses get destroyed. Kentucky with the tornadoes. Where else? Down there in Florida with the hurricanes and that big old condominium that collapsed because of the foundations was all jacked up. So men are afraid. But look at this. 19. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. They've been rioting and looting over there in Buffalo, trying to get some food. As we just got through seeing, they said, look, they're scrambling to find food and essentials. So, sisters, you on your you got that cycle coming around every month. You better make sure that you've got some extra boxes stashed away, because Lord forbid you have to shelter in place for any length of time, or it is that time of the month, and what are you gonna do? You done ran out. You ain't got enough. You better stack up. Let alone, let's forget about the rest of the hygiene products. I mean, just soap, water. We see that they're talking about the shortages of quote unquote medicines. And the first thing Jake's want to do is go loot and snatch and grab anything that they can. So you trying to go find a store that you can honestly get something. They already been raided and ramshackled. Trust and believe. When I was younger in my teens, when it was the Rodney King verdict and they was riding out here. I mean, granted, I was a wicked little Negro out there running the streets and grabbing everything I could. But when that marshal, when the and the curfew kicked in, and troops was on the streets and all that, your ass was in the house. Every Jake was in the house. Abide by that curfew. If you was out on the streets, they was locking you up. And you couldn't go to your local stores because everything was already ramshacked and burnt down. So whatever you have in your house, that's what you had to survive on for at least a week or two. I can't recall how long, but I remember at a little local liquor store we used to walk around the corner to, that was burnt down. Strip mall we used to go to and get French fries and pizza, gone. Grocery stores, oh, forget about it. Limited supplies is in there. Heavily guarded. Come in a certain number at a time. You get in there, you got to pray. Hopefully that what you got is still there. I mean, what you need is still there. So I done seen it. At least when I was young back then, in my teens. How was I? I can't remember. But I remember being in them riots though. And now you see, look what they said. There, people scrambling for food in the sense. There are no stores open. It's whatever you can grab, said one resident of Buffalo, New York, a suburb in the suburb. And Buffalo is a small city. So it's dog eat dog world out there. And everybody know everybody. Especially in Jake in the hood. We ain't talking about no big metropolis city where they can go travel around and go outside and go to another spot and go grab some stuff. No, it ain't going down. That ain't happening. Families in Western New York were scrambling to find food, medicine, and other essentials Monday after a historic blizzard blocked roads and cut off electricity, forcing many major supermarkets and pharmacies to close. In Buffalo, where at least 18 people have died, the two largest supermarket chains have been closed since Friday as the latest forecast called for another 6 to 12 inches of snow, and there's no let up. What's going on in Buffalo, man? First, you got the shooting up the damn that Edomite man killed him, 10 Jakes in the store. Now they getting hit upside the head, with the with the storms. You said about the canned food. Hold on. I hadn't seen that, but you know what? We live. Why not? Let's look it up. That was from. Let's see. Trying to find a more recent article. Let's see. The latest we see here is November 9th. And they say this may happen in 2023. So what are they saying? Food shortages. They're saying it's possible, but it says there's no guarantee any potential issues will come to pass. The available evidence provides clues on what to expect. With that in mind, here's what we need to know about the food shortage may happen in 2023. So they're saying bread, expect shortages, vegetable oil, corn, butter, Hershey candies. Oh, people really gonna lose their minds, huh? Champagne, tomatoes, flour, beef. There you go. Aluminum canned goods. An absence of abundantly available raw materials generally portends the shortage of a specific type of processed food. But what if it means the need to craft actual containers that holds the food? We may find out in 2023. Yep, there you go. It's very possible. Very possible. Among other things. So as we know, canned goods is a source of stored prepping. So, that can cause an issue. That can cause issue. Good addition by good addition. Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's a good addition, man. See, that's how we build, man. That's how we build. All praises. But hey, there you go. You see what's going on over there in Buffalo? Let me get another scripture on that. People running around trying to find food, looting and rioting, dying in the streets, freezing over. Hmm. Imagine that. Ezekiel 7. Let's read 14, 15. It says, they have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. So the Most High is blowing the trumpet. This is one of the judgments and how the Most High moves. He said it's already been joined. And now what? Nobody's ready. Verse 15, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine is within. So both have been sent out. Sword is going out. Pestilence and famine is going to hit the inner parts. What does that mean? Look, he that is in the field shall die with the sword. So that's twofold. You see those, the field being the world, according to Mark. And then it also lets us know that there's going to be death within the farming industries, dying by the sword. There's going to be destruction of crops and land. Remember, they would start telling people, that they had all the food that had to get destroyed because of the weather conditions, and the plague was having them all this food go bad. Then we seen the swine flu. I mean, the bird flu hidden. They had to destroy and kill all them chickens. You seen all of the dead cows, 3,000 dead cows, all that other stuff. But look at this. And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. So that's why it's very interesting, because really there's no escape. I mean, we could talk about, hey, we can bug out. We out of here. I'm going to go self-isolate and live in the mountains and, become a hermit. Most I said, listen, you go out there in the field and be all alone and have your own. Lord said, it's coming your way too if you ain't got your stuff together. But the city is going to be one of the worst places to be, because it's getting both famine and pestilence, let alone violence and everything else that's coming along with it. Right? So take notes, y'all. Take notes. Because you see what happens. The stores is closed. People take for granted. You be thinking, oh, I can just go to the store. Well, I'm going to just, nah. They can't get out the damn house. And the ones that are, they running up in trying to grab and snatch anything they can, ride in, looting, trying to survive. People getting, people dying, not just because of weather. I'm sure people's in there dying because of violence, fighting over food. And they're about to get hit with another damn near 6 to foot of snow. So most ain't done with them. So let's look at this. So, of course, the economy is continuing to plummet. Stock futures fall as Wall Street awaits its final trading day, 2022. Right? Stock futures move lower in pre-market trading Friday as investors brace for the final trading day of the worst year for stocks since 2008. And you keep hearing all these little financial experts, oh, it's not going to be as bad as 2008. Is that what? From what we're seeing, yes. It hasn't been as bad since 2008. Anybody that was around in 2008 that had a home or was dealing in economics in the .com era with the internet and all that, everybody that was in that stuff, man, they all went broke and belly up. So they said it ain't been as bad since 2008. If you know anybody, or if you was aware of what was happening back then, or if you just want to do a local archaeology research and find out what happened in the economy in 2008, said this is it, and it's going to be worse. Amazon lost half its value this year as tech stocks got crushed and recession fears grew. We're talking Amazon now. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, man. Jeff Bezos, right? Lost half its value this year. So that's why you're hearing about the tens of thousands getting laid off. That's why you're hearing about them talking about, oh, they're shutting down plans to open up future Amazon plants and all this other stuff. Half its value. Amazon was booming when the pandemic hit, right? Everybody was ordering something. Everybody was on there. That was Ezekiel 7, 14, and 15. Manaf. Um, so when you get a economic giant, man, that's held monopolies on everything from imports to exports, grocery stores. Remember, they bought out Whole Foods, right? They're publishing and from the books to you name it, you can find everything on Amazon, man. During the pandemic, man, stimulus checks was getting spent with Amazon. Everybody's getting bread. Like Amazon was capitalizing, and all it took was less than a year for all of that to be half of that to be gone. Half its value in this year is gone. Tech stocks got crushed, and the recession fears grew. So all the glitters ain't gold. No matter what they talking about, talking heads. Like I said, man, the people that's on the the internet hustlers, the YouTube charlatans out there, man, trying to get everybody. Man, don't worry, the economy's great, man. This is what I'm investing in. Oh, it's not financial advice, but you telling everybody what you're gonna invest in, right? If I had my money in, if I'm shooting dice and I'm down, and people are taking their money and walking away, of course I'm gonna be like, hey, no, no, no. I'm about to hit. I'm about to hit. Come back. Side bet with me. Stay in here. Why? Because I don't want that money to leave. I want the money to stay at the table. I want the money to stay on the ground because I'm trying to win my damn money back. I want to make sure I don't lose it all. So the more people I got constantly investing and staying into the game, the better chances it is for me to go ahead and get that money. Right? So this is what we're talking about. Sometimes, some cats might be getting solid info. I don't know. But there's a lot. I seen a lot of these little Edomites, man, especially when that FTX thing went down. They out there talking about they selling their stocks and they apologizing and saying sorry for, going out there. I seen another video, some cat, man, he was trying to expose some of them. He was talking about, like, man, ask these people what they was doing before they became, internet stock tips people or whatever, or lay economists. He put up some sister, I don't even know who she is, but they said in 2020 she was doing videos about coupons, and next thing you know, she talking about how she made millions off of YouTube and financial advice and other stuff. He was like, "Come on." But if you get sponsors, you get people on there listening to you. You tell them, "Hey, come to my seminar. Listen to me. Log on for my what do you call that? The little pay service that people be doing off of YouTube, not super chats, but it's the other thing. Damn, it's alternative to YouTube. Oh, it was right on the tip of my tongue too. Dang, I hate when I draw a blank. Oh man, it's right there. Somebody help me out in the chat, man. It's the thing where people pay monthly subscriptions and you're supposed to get, exclusive content. A lot of people are doing it because they say YouTube censorship is causing them to flee the plantation and start up their own. Um, it starts with a P too. nah, not OnlyFans, Sam. Not OnlyFans. It begins with a P. No, man, not OnlyFans, bro. Patreon, Cynthia Thwater. There you go. Patreon, good lord. I'll be losing my damn mind. Patreon, y'all. Patreon is what we're talking about. Man, I couldn't remember that for nothing. But that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So, people telling people go over there, subscribe to my Patreon so you can get exclusive tips on how to. Yeah, it's just a hustle. It's just a hustle. You know, I wasn't born yesterday, man, and before the Most High called me in the truth, even though I came in young, but I experienced enough in the streets and knew enough to spot some BS when I see it. You know. And all praise to the Most High for that spirit of discernment, just on those levels. But some people find value in it. I'm not saying everybody, and I'm saying it. Be careful out there, Israel, because they're out there talking game like everything is great, or just hold on. 2023 is going to be great. How long they been saying that? Since 2020? Oh, I can't wait to 2020. So it's been a hell of a year, man. People getting sick, and I've lost my job, and blah 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 blah. Oh, here comes stimulus. Yeah, but ain't enough, and who knows? Everybody's dying, and then 2021 comes around. More hell. And 2022 is gonna be better, man. I promise. Man, everything's gonna be good, man. Don't worry. 2022 done hit. More hell, more torment, more oppression, more lies. 2023 is gonna be. Get the picture. All right, let's move on. Look at just a heads up. Think your bills are high now. All the tax hikes hitting Americans on January 1st are revealed. So this is for all the Negroes and Hispanics that rush to the polls to get slow Biden and back him up, supposedly with this whole midterm reelection and giving them more power and a pat on the back. How legitimate that was is still in question. Just like how he is sitting on the throne right now is in question. But it is what it is. Tax hikes coming up. He said it's going to hit everybody. So I've heard the complaints. I've complained about cost of living, bills being higher, all that other stuff. Right now, man, the only thing that they stroking everybody's ego with and rocking you to sleep with is the gas prices. Because that was just on everybody's mind, mine included. 6 months ago and up until maybe about a month and a half ago, gas was whooping our ass. And now they say, okay, well, the greatest thing that everybody's concerned with, we'll drop that, but everything else is going to stay the same. And we thinking, okay, well, at least I'm saving, that extra $100 that I was spending on gas to what? Oh, spend it more on more expensive groceries or your higher, heating bill or the trash or the water or what? You giving it right back. So look at this. All the tax hikes hitting Americans on January 1st revealed electricity costs to soar, and even your nest egg is not safe. Uh-oh. Democrats claim the Inflation Reduction Act will help ordinary Americans, but new analysis suggests it shreds President Biden's promise not to raise taxes for Americans making less than $400,000 a year. So, oops, slow Biden got caught lying again. New analysis suggests it shreds President's promise not to raise taxes. Oh, doesn't sound like he kept that promise, did he? Can't trust a white man. He speaks with forked tongue. The Inflation Reduction Act includes 3 major energy taxes that are expected to increase household energy bills. One is a regressive tax on American oil and gas development, estimated to increase taxes by $6.5 billion. Democrats are proposing a 16.4 cents per barrel tax on crude oil, likely to be passed on the consumers in the form of higher gas prices. Hello? Yeah, like I said before, I said this a few weeks. He's gonna raise the gas back up. 2023 is when they're gonna start like getting it. They just lullaby everybody back to sleep. Worried about the gas? Okay, tone it down. And that show you how they price manipulating because it's out of nowhere. It ain't just from the U.S. Reserve oil supplies. The Ishmael over there and the Arabs already said we're not gonna manufacture more oil. It is what it is. Work with what you got. All of a sudden the gas prices just went down out of nowhere, and there isn't no. What are we talking about? What he did do, he did stop suspending the mining, the oil mining in America again. So that could contribute to it. But he's gonna cut that off again too. Once he cuts off them mining for oil again, forget about it. So they're already talking about gas going up again. As U.S. inflation is 7.1% for 12 months to November 2022 after rising 7.7%. So they're acting like, this is great progress, man. We're still over 7%. It's been 7.1% for the year. It got its highest in November at 7.7%. Inflation is supposed to be like at 2%. So it's a long way to go before this so-called getting back to normal. That ain't happening. You thinking the layoffs and all the other stuff just have layoffs and everything else and slowing down the economy, that dropped it down 6%, if that. So if they got to get it down to 2%, imagine the type of drastic measures they're going to take, including raising the inflation rates and more, and the taxes and everything else, man. So buckle up, y'all. 2023, they saying it's gonna get worse. And they was talking about hitting up people. I didn't read it in here, but it was in the article. They were talking about hitting up people's 401ks and IRA accounts with more taxes. And they said they're gonna they're pausing on the little gig economy tax, the $600 transactional tax. They would say they're gonna pause on it for 2022. I think they're gonna start looking at it next year in 2023 for that tax year, but they're not going to hit you up this year. So anybody out there that was hustling Uber and everything, internet hustle game, search and whatever else, and you get money through Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal and all them other things, you was making 600 plus. You can got by this year. Next year they coming for it. Maybe they need more time to train those 80,000 IRS agents. To come after the taxes, the gig economy, the stimulus, stimulus thieves, and the PPP loan hustles. They need a little more time to train them up. Maybe that's what it is. But let's see. Now look at it. Jake, the rich get richer, man. You talk about the so-called white man. It need you wonder who's in control of the earth, who has exploited and has the fatness of the earth in his palms. JP Morgan Chase is about to spend $1 billion on hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. on the way to becoming a mega landlord. Let me read that again. JP Morgan is about to spend $1 billion on hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. on the way to becoming a mega landlord. So, if you heard the slogan from the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, and they say, you will own nothing, you'll have nothing, and you'll be happy about it. That means that they will own everything, and everything that you need, we need, I need, will be for rent. No more ownership. They're starting now. In the meantime, they're already talking about how rental prices was at its highest this year. I've covered the stories about adult kids. Well, I can't call them adults and kids. That's oxymoronic. But how parents are having to house their kids again, even though they're grown. Why? Because they can't afford to live on their own no more. They're moving back in. I read that article maybe 2-3 weeks ago. And they were talking about, because of the roommate situations and, unreliable and the money, and they can go back into their own homes where they can have, food and laundry and facilities for free and all that. They coming back to get spoiled, but most of it is because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. The stimulus monies ran out, the hustles ran out. The people quitting their jobs. You're trying to come back to find jobs. Oops, too late. People are laying off unless you want to work in the service economy. You can always deliver pizzas and flip burgers and drop the fries in the hot oil. That's always going to be needed. You can wait tables. Those jobs is available. You can bag groceries. Those jobs are available. servitude jobs will be available. But Chase is getting ready to become the mega slumlord in the U.S. A new joint venture between one of America's largest banks and a growing build-to-rent operator. But notice, I covered this story article again, maybe about 3 weeks ago, where they were talking about how foreclosures is up in 2022. And remember, I talked about how Bank of America was out there hustling and getting Jakes to get these no down payment loans and all this other stuff, and baiting Jakes in to entrap themselves with getting these loans. And I said, oh, they're gonna have a little house for a minute, and then before you know it, they're gonna be broke and foreclosing because the mortgage rates are gonna go up because of the interest rates and everything else. They're gonna be all jacked up. And sure enough, the housing market is crashing. People are foreclosing, losing their homes, and all of that. And guess who's coming in and scoop them up pennies on the dollar, man? The banks that own the homes. It's a sad thing in the psychological manipulation and molestation when they shake your hand and say congratulations, you're a new homeowner. And you're like, oh wow, it's my house. Yeah, it's great. Don't pay that mortgage. Don't pay that mortgage back. See if it's yours. Don't pay them property taxes. See if it's yours. And then you looking at the term, you saying 30 years? I gotta pay this thing off. Oh yeah, don't worry. After 5 years, you're gonna get equity and blah blah blah, and you can go ahead on and sell it and make money and keep flipping, and that's out. People are not buying homes. House flipping, Zillow and Redfern and all the other house flipping sites and real estate partnerships is all going down the drain. They've been laying off like crazy. They saying house flipping is dead. Ain't nobody investing right now. They taking it slow. But guess who is? Big banks. They coming in, sliding, picking them up. And then they're going to come back and rent them out. And it's not affordable housing. No. they ain't talking about they making affordable housing for single family. They not trying to help. They trying to recapitalize, and they trying to break down everybody and own up all these damn properties. New joint venture between one of America's largest banks and a growing build-to-rent operator is the latest sign the big investors are undeterred by the volatile real estate market. Haven Realty Capital and J.P. Morgan Chase's asset management arm said they will invest up to $1 billion to develop build-to-rent single-family homes across the country, according to the November 15th announcement. The duo plans to seed their investment with up to $415 million in equity. The first installment will include a purchase of 250 homes in 3 communities around the Atlanta metropolitan area. Well, Atlanta, huh? Isn't that the Black Mecca? Isn't that where all the Jake is flying, moving to? Okay. And the deal could close within 90 days, the statement says. So the rich get richer, man. Don't nobody ever be confused about who controls the earth. Job 9:24. Okay? We see it here. I had to look at this, man, because it's ironic. Do y'all remember this? Amari Stoudemire, um, basketball player, used to play for the Phoenix Suns, the New York Knicks. I don't know wherever else he played. I know he did venture off into Israel and played for their national team. This is a self-proclaimed Israelite. The problem is he's seeking acceptance from the GMO small hats. But he didn't do that at first. When he first came out, he had a viral video talking about Deuteronomy 28 and we're the real Jews and blah, blah, blah. He came out maybe about, give or take, 7-8 years ago. Could have been longer than that. I'm giving at least 7-8 years ago that I remember seeing his video. He had a live talking about the whole nine. Next thing you know, he's running around with a damn black and white suit on and a damn hat on, dancing around with the Amalekites, man, and a damn small hat. Accepted of them. So now he comes out when the whole thing was going on with Kyrie. He was doing his NBA analyst stuff, and he went out and condemned Kyrie. says he has to apologize, and that Kyrie needs to do better research and vet his sources, and as if Kyrie is just this ignorant, cat that doesn't know what he's talking about. He was speaking as if Kyrie was looking at something foreign. When Amari Stoudemire said that his mother told him the truth as a teenager. And that's what set him out on his quest to continue reading the scriptures and all that. But his Amalekite Jewish handlers got a hold of him. Look at this. Fair use. Fair use. Let me post this up just in case. Let me use it just in case. This is under fair use. It's under fair use. Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure that they don't come after me and shut this thing down talking crazy about I didn't. Where the heck is my fair use? All right, this is good enough. It's fair use. I'm using this for criticism and commenting, news reporting, teaching, education, and research. All right, so leave me alone.
The city of Jerusalem. There's just so much ancient history here that seems to amaze me every time I step outside.
It's a documentary that they did on ESPN about Amari Stoudemire exploring and finding his Jewish roots from 2016, right? So what was that? 8 years ago? 8 years ago. So like I said, 7 or 8 years ago, I remember him making a video. So maybe it was 9 years ago that he made that video.
Jerusalem, in Hebrew, city of peace, one of the holiest places on earth, a city sacred to billions.
Thank you, Soda.
Welcome to Israel.
Thank you.
See, the problem is he thinks that they love him as a fellow brother of the faith and of the bloodline of the people. No, they're celebrating him because he's a NBA player, Negro, 6'10" or 6'11", superstar athlete that came to play for their team. They're not under no illusions of that. Go ask the brothers and sisters in Dimona if they're accepted and everybody love them over there, man. They're constantly trying to kick them off of the land. Go ask the little Ethiopian Jews over there how much the people in Israel love them and accept them as being part of the faith. Come on. His brother's under a delusion, man. And he got turned out. He was on the right path, quoting Deuteronomy 28:68 and the whole nine. Now he's over here licking boots with the damn small hats.
You get mobbed everywhere you go?
Doesn't stop, man.
It's true. Everywhere we went. The old...
Just like with that camera.
It's true. He gets mobbed everywhere he goes. Is it because he's a so-called the tallest black Jew there, or is it because he's a basketball player? He's thinking they love him because he's accepted the faith.
Young. And even the cabbies.
Who's your favorite player?
Stoudemire.
Stoudemire. He just got here.
Yeah. He's the best thing in the world for us.
See that?
Everyone, it seems, is mesmerized by Amari. What has been the reception from the Israeli public?
First, astonishment. How can it be? Then realization. Really? Is it happening? Then he arrived to the airport. He's here. When he's going to play tonight, it's going to be like, wow, all our dream comes true.
That we are from the ancient...
And his forefathers.
Now watch how he talks in code, though. And he knows what he's saying. Watch this.
Mother and Stoudemire that we are from the ancient...
This is the land of his forefathers.
My mother instilled in me that we are from the ancient tribes of Israel, and through the diaspora, we happen to land and were taken to America.
Do you consider yourself Jewish?
I consider myself a Jew.
Whoa. Did you hear that? He asked him, did he consider himself Jewish? He said, no, I consider myself a Jew. What did Kyrie say? I mean, what did Ye say that was different? Now, he said this back in 2016, but the only reason why he didn't get no flack for it is because he didn't offer no feedback in regards to them. He spoke in code, and at the same time, he's going over there getting paid playing ball. He didn't want to ruin that, but he knew how to, that's when you have media training. Ye and them don't care about that. But let me continue on. Let me let him say it one more time.
Jewish?
I consider myself a Jew. I consider myself a Hebrew Israelite.
Did you see how he made the distinction? So he knows the truth. I'm not going to play the rest of this. It's almost 6 minutes. But y'all can go check this out. Amari Stoudemire Israel documentary. They show him keeping the Sabbath with his family. There's his wife. But you heard him say, I consider myself a Jew. I consider myself a Hebrew Israelite. He didn't cop to that Jewish, did he? No.
But he and his wife Lexis and their 4 children observe the Jewish Sabbath and Jewish holidays. In accordance with kosher dietary laws, they don't eat pork or shellfish.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food we're about to receive on your Shabbat.
At their Shabbat dinners every Friday night, Stoudemire quizzes his children.
Look, he's keeping the law. But why does he come out and do this? Why didn't he stand in solidarity with his brothers? Why didn't he stand up and say, you know what, I don't know all the facts, but let me get in contact with Kyrie, man. Let me holler at him and we can, discuss it, but I'm not going to make a public comment about this. Or he could have just said, you know what, I'm familiar with what he's trying to express. Matter of fact, he didn't even say nothing. It was over him posting that one advertisement for Hebrews and Negroes. He didn't say yay or nay, go buy it, interesting information. He didn't get it. For all they know, he could have been posting that thinking this film is bush. How would anybody know what his intentions was when he posted that on this thing? Does that mean he was for it or against it? Nothing. But of course, they immediately came and slashed him and broke him down. And then they get these damn coon Negroes, man. And Marty Stoudemire, man, is a straight up, what do you call him? From the Menelaus, Jason. You know what I'm saying? The Uncle Tom sellout priest of the Maccabean era. You're going to come out and throw your own under the bus, man. And you're going to say that he needs to do more vetting and more research. What are you talking about? When he said, man, I'm Shemitic, man, my people come. That's how they wind up controlled opposition against our own, man. This guy sat out there and just... he had a whole documentary 8 years ago about him talking about he's a Hebrew Israelite and they only accepted him because he's playing basketball. He's under the illusion thinking that they love him and he's part of the faith. They don't give a damn about that. Win championships, get more money, more exposure for Israel, nigga. That's what they saying to him. In his mind, what Mazel Tov is shalom. Get out of here, man. That's ridiculous. He did that. But vengeance is the Lord's. Former NBA star Mari Stoudemire arrested in Miami after allegedly punching his teenage daughter. Now, this is November 2nd, he said that. December 19th, he gets arrested for punching on his daughter. So, the same daughter.
About the Old and New
Her right
Testament.
there, same one. I believe maybe it's another one. Don't get me wrong. It could be a different daughter, maybe from a different baby mama. I don't know. But nonetheless, this is what happens when you go against the grain, man. The Most High come back and expose you and put you on blast for. You know what? Hold on. See, Most High put his ass on blast for doing that foolishness, man. He should have just either shut up or he should have stand up and had his brothers back, man, and defended the truth. Proverbs 11:19. A hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. See, he wanted to destroy Kyrie, man. He went out there and went out on a limb and tried to make him look bad, like I'm not him, I'm not like them. Just like the SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Centers, they go out there and try to say, well, who's a good black Jew and who's not, as they classify us, the brothers who evangelize on the streets and speak truth to power through the scriptures. Oh, those are the radical black Hebrews. Like those guys are the dangerous ones. The ones that's going to the synagogue with Shabbat, and the ones that's wearing the black and white suits, and the one that's wearing the little damn small hat GMO fakes. Those are the ones that's accepted. Those are the ones that the Jewish people have accepted. They're okay. Leave them alone. Which is what a Stoudemire was out there doing, and went out there publicly to condemn his brother, man. Most I said, a hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Well, clearly he wasn't utilizing knowledge when, and if the alleged crime was committed, that he laid hands on his daughter. But that's how I go. Even with what's his name? With Shaq. What happened to him? I mean, they've been talking about him possibly being part of a lawsuit for taking money and promoting FTX. So the Most High might get him in his pockets. Who knows? But they were saying all them celebrities that was promoting FTX and the crypto schemes, the people that want their money back, they like, hey, somebody got to pay. These celebrities made millions of dollars off of promoting a Ponzi scheme to me. I need money. Shaq's name was involved. For those who watch sport, you seen Shannon Sharp. He came out against Kyrie, and he really just showed his ass because he got into an argument with his co-host Skip Bayless, an old damn Edomite, and Skip Bayless put his ass on black and checked him. Got him all in his feelings. Because Skip Bayless said Tom Brady was a better player than Shannon Sharp, and all his accomplishment didn't even mean nothing. And Shannon Sharp got all turned up and, see, that's what you do. You go personal. No. I made the Hall of Fame. I got 3 Super Bowls. And Skip Bayless said, so what? So what? And he took off his glasses and got turned. Shannon Sharp took off his glasses and got turned up. And and Skip Bayless said, put your glasses back on. Like, nigga, don't act like you about to get turned up on me on TV. You better put your glasses back on. And if this was in 1950, he would just call him boy. And guess what? He got turned down, and his ass is back over there making nice with his co-host again. So that shows you Shannon Sharp he's gonna bow down to Esau any chance he gets. He's not going to abide by a state of rebellion and stand up for nothing. You follow? That's Stoudemire, man. I had to bring that out because look at this. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he hath gained when God taketh away his soul? That's what Yahweh Shah was quoting. He said, what gaineth the man if he gains the world but loses his soul? These are the hypocrites, man, who sell out for money or willing to slander and throw their own under the bus. You see everybody turn their back on Ye. Everybody turn, now everybody is quiet on Kyrie because the Nets are winning. That just shows you, man, as long as a nigga is performing, as long as you're producing, as long as the money keeps flowing and butts is in the seats, man, all will be forgiven. I think they said that the New York Nets is on like a hold on. Brooklyn. See, look at this. This is what's today? The 30th? December 28th, 2022. The streak is alive. Nets win 10th straight game. So now that they winning 10 straight games in a row, do you hear any problems with Kyrie? Do you hear anybody talking about Kyrie anymore? Do you see the small hat sitting out of the damn front row of the games anymore talking about, stop anti-Semitism? Not, is there any more protests going? No. Because as long as the niggas out there tap dancing and showing his teeth and shooting the ball in the hoop and just dribbling, they don't care. You their best friend again, they don't want to say nothing. See how that works? White man is a damn devil, man. And he got these damn devil Negroes, man, working for him. But the chickens is coming home through. You start seeing some of the, judgment of the Most High coming back and exposing some of these cats out here, man, that was being outspoken and coming against their own when they should have just been quiet and not said nothing, or went and did their own research in regards to why and what he posted it for. Everybody's got access to social media. They could have easily reached out and said, hey, man, what was up with that post? It sounds like it's making a lot of noise. You didn't say nothing. Let me get some insight from you before I commented on my platform on ESPN or Fox News or whatever. They don't do that. They just jump right out the window, man, jump on the bandwagon and speak the words that Master gives them on a damn teleprompter. If they operating off of that. Otherwise, they just doing it just to show out, just to show Master's their allegiance to White Zaddy. But the Most High comes back. That's just a small taste, man. Scriptures say, man, everyone that's joined hand in hand is going to get slain with the sword. That's in Isaiah 13. Sitting up there running around. See this? Isaiah 13:15 says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So if you're joined with the wicked, you're joined with the evil, you're joined with the so-called white, when judgment hits, man, the Most High said, you join with him, you're going to die right along with him. And that's what these damn bootlegging Negroes, man, who done decided to sell their souls for a little bit of gain. For a little bit of gain is doing. Look at this one. Proverbs 10:18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. And that's what they end up being, man. If Stoudemire and the rest of these cats run around here acting like they don't see the hate that's aimed towards our people, and you lie about it and act like, no, there's nothing going on, everything's fine, man. Kyrie's just misguided or he needs help. And then you go out there, you slander, brother. Most I said these are fools, man. These are straight up fools. Leading up to Whoopie. Whoopie's under the gun right now. And they're trying to force and back her butt down into saying she doubled down on her statements. Now, when she said her statements on The View, let me just read the article because, GMO, small hat peoples run this platform. Watch this. Whoopi Goldberg is forced to apologize again for repeating a Holocaust slur. So they said she repeated the same thing, which she didn't, but we'll see. Whoopi Goldberg has once again apologized for her comments claiming the Holocaust was not about race. Now, see, if you do any little research about Weimar Germany, see how good the Jewish community was living in Germany. They had money, power, influence in politics, entertainment, sex industry. They was doing a whole lot. And they was doing too much in the eyes of the guy with the small mustache. And he was forced and motivated and backed by some folks that said, we need to change some things. And I got to speak in code. Hopefully y'all feel me where I'm going with this. So, hold on. Oh, y'all want to look and you don't say, how do you spell that? There you go. WEIMAR Germany. Look it up, and you can see what was going on with them. So Whoopi says it wasn't about race, right? That was her initial thing. Because what she said, basically, it was white on white crime. Was she lying? Was it not true? Absolutely, she wasn't lying. Because according to the biblical narrative, they're all stemmed from the seed of Esau. Amalek just descended off of one of the dukes of Esau, developed into the Ashkenazi, so forth and so on, right? But they all have the same forefather. If you deal with the power of the scriptures and creation, she ain't lie. Now, they can say, well, Hitler made it about race. He said this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. In her eyes, all she sees is white on white crime. They said she got to get canceled for that. So she got suspended from the View a while back. They rolled on her. She apologized. Now, it says what? A rep for the 67-year-old provided a statement to the Post on Tuesday, just days after a recent interview in which she reiterated the same Holocaust slur that got her suspended from the View last February. Now, did she say the same slur? Did she reiterate the same thing? Let's look what she said. Part of the interview. Now, mind you, she's over there in London on a press run to promote her film, which I salute her for, about Emmett Till. The interview is supposed to be about Emmett Till. This whole thing got overshadowed. I asked Jake if they seen the movie. Yeah, Jake is like, Till, what? No, I didn't see that. I'm not watching that. Or not. So again, we don't even support our. Jay should use Emmett Till posters on their damn visual aids and talk about, and then say, "Well, bro, did you at least go check the movie out?" Nah, I ain't see it. Okay, that's the problem we got in Israel. Now, whether or not Whoopi Goldberg produced that and made it, so a sister who knows she's Israel did it. Whether she's living it or not doesn't really matter. It just is what it is. This is how it goes to show you how bad the situation is this was supposed to be about her promoting this film and bringing enlightenment to that situation in which the white woman who actually got him killed is still alive and has not faced any charges, even though black nationalist groups and all that went to her nursing home and called her out, and they still said, you know what, there's not enough evidence and the statute of limitations, we're off of that. But meanwhile, they can go lock up or they can suspend a 2-year sentence on a 97-year-old secretary that was involved in the Holocaust. They can go get her. But we can't talk about Emmett Till 50 years ago. So they, within the conversation, somehow race comes up. And this is Whoopi Goldberg's quote. She says, my best friend said, not for nothing, there is no box on the census for the Jewish race. Now, what if her friend was Jewish? What if her friend was Jewish bringing that up? We don't know who the best friend is. You would have to assume, because why else would they be looking for that on the census or on an application, whatever, right? Nonetheless, they said not for nothing, there's no box on the census for the Jewish race. So that leads me to believe that that we're probably not a race. Oh, I when I read this earlier, I didn't read it. So her friend is Jewish. Goldberg had told the Sunday Times of London. So the problem should be with the Census Bureau, not with what she said. Doesn't that logically make sense? If you're not recognized on the Census Bureau under the table of races or whatever ethnicities, and it's not there, why is there no outrage from the ADL saying, why are we not being recognized as a race according to the censuses, according to job applications, according to driver license applications or whatever? That's where the feedback should come from. But no, they're going after her. Because she said, oh, I guess we're probably not a race. Oh, well, newsflash. There is no Jewish race. No. So again, here she is telling the truth, right? And now they came out and they on her ass again. Oh, you doubling down? That last apology was fake. You didn't learn nothing. Oh. So look at this. And I seen this video from a brother's video earlier. But just watch how they monopolize this. You know, these people always want a monopoly on suffering and oppression, right? Whoopi Goldberg playing game of who suffered most trivializes the Holocaust. So the fact that if anybody else, any other group speaks about their sufferings, speaks about it in terms of we had major issues going on. I'm trying to be PC with this, man. Y'all know. Deuteronomy 28 is all day long with us. Our people done suffered the worst, right? But they say, well, if you start talking about who suffered the most, you only trivialize or minimalize the Holocaust, meaning they have to have a monopoly on oppression and death. Nobody can do it worse. But watch this.
Bertaic. Now, on yesterday's show, we covered. Joining me now is Rabbi Shmuley Bertaic. Now,
Rabbi Shmuley, huh? Okay, watch how Shmuley
on
is.
yesterday's show, we covered how Whoopi Goldberg's latest shameful comments, again about the Holocaust, where she claims it had nothing to do with race and was an example of white-on-white crime. Despite apologising for similar comments earlier this year, Whoopi told the Sunday Times, "It doesn't change the fact that you could not tell a Jew on a street. You could find me, you couldn't find them. That was the point I was making."
So that's doubling down because he just said the truth. So you trying to tell why did they have to brand Jewish people in the concentration camps? Why did they have to have papers to identify who you were during those times? Because they blended in. No different than I gave the movie An Empire of Their Own on YouTube. And it talks about how when them people came over here and started establishing Hollywood, many of them changed their names and took on the ways of the Gentiles or the Goyim to fit in. I got a book talking about how Jewish slave owners of the South partook in slavery because they said that they wanted to fit in with their Southern counterpart whites. So you trying to tell me that camouflage, that chameleon act is not true? If Whoopi Goldberg is basically saying, listen, if you was in the antebellum South, or let's just say you ain't got to be, listen, you talking about times of segregation, whites only, bathrooms, whites only, water fountains, white only schools. Who's going to be more identifiable? Jewish man walking into the school, walking into the bathroom, or a black man walking into a restricted area? Who's going to be identified first? She can't even speak that truth, man, without being condemned. I mean, it's only logical, man. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then you wonder why. Surely oppression makes a wise man bad. Let me leave that up there, man, so my brother can make sure we stay solid. Okay, let me get back over here. Hold on. Shalaki. So basically, she just spoke the truth, man. Two white people walk down the street, you can't tell them apart. I'm black, you're gonna spot me out, man. So if we was in oppressive times and there was a situation like that, you're gonna get targeted first. Who's gonna get hit first? Jake is.
King. Rabbi, welcome to the program. Would you care to give Whoopi a history lesson?
Oh, so white man got to tell the history. Whoopi needs to be re-educated. The white man loves that, man. Ask the damn Japanese when they got put in them concentration camps during World War II and Hiroshima and Nagasaki and all of that. And they got thrown in there, man. They got re-educated. What happens when you come over here to be a citizen? You getting educated on the ways of America, man. You want that green card, you better learn the Star Spangled Banner, learn about the damn 3 branches of government and whatever else comes along with the territory. Because now you're an American. That's what you call re-education. Re-education camps, brainwashing, manipulation, 1984, all of that. Rabbi Shmuley, will you give Whoopi a history lesson? Well, watch this.
Rita, thank you for being such a great friend of our community and our.
You talking about werewolf looking, half transformative demon? Look at this guy, Rabbi Shmuley, an author and a relationship expert. Did it say historian? Did it say PhD? Did it say a scholar? No, none of the above. He's an author and a relationship expert, and they bringing him on here to talk about history. They're bringing him on here to talk about racial. What relationships are you talking about?
People you always have been. But let me just be clear. Whoopi Goldberg, what she's really doing is playing a game of one-upmanship. Who has suffered more is what she's saying. We in the Black community, we're identifiable. We can't really hide the color of our skin. We have suffered more. I've learned as a Jew, games of one-upmanship when it comes to human suffering and annihilation are never wise. The Black community has suffered immeasurably, as has the Jewish community. The Holocaust was the world's greatest crime.
Oh. Did you hear how he just filibustered his way into still stating that the Holocaust was the world's greatest crime? So one-upmanship. Who's playing what game again? That's why the white man speak with forked tongue, man. Oh, blacks have suffered immeasurably, but the Holocaust was the greatest crime ever committed. Period, point blank, case closed, and you niggas better forget about it. That was of the past. We all know, man, we can't say none of that without them saying, forget about it. That wasn't me. I'm going to stop that one, right? Because the point has been made, man. So Whoopi's catching hell right now. She's the new target. It seems as though they find a Negro to hit up. Anytime you say something, you slip out of tongue. It's a new target on the block, so they can continue on with this, false narrative of anti-Semitism. Right now, they're saying Kanye is nowhere to be found. Kyrie's out, leading the team to 10-game win streaks. So, now they found a whole new person to persecute. Let's continue. What? Hold on. See, look at this. Before I go there, I want to play this other video. This is shameful as well. This is how bad it's gotten for our people, man. This is Prince Charles. Pulls up to this, what does it say? The postcode for Jewish life. Is that Jewish? Hey, that looked like it said Jewish life. So, yeah, look at this in the J-E. No, hold on. The postcode for Jewish life. So, I mean, we see who's ad placing in this whole situation, who's running this show right here. Prince Charles, man, the Prince of Darkness, pulls up. And look how Negro reacts. This is how some members of the public reacted to meeting King Charles. Oh, I said Prince. Yeah, he is the king now since his mother finally kicked the bucket. Look at her. Got on her knees. This is disgusting, man. You talk about Stockholm Syndrome. You talking about still worshiping and idolizing your oppressor. I mean, this is a man who says he's a descendant of Count Dracula, and you bowing down to him. This is a man who currently is involved in a multi-million-dollar scandal for his charities, and you on your knees. This is a man whose mother refused to apologize for slavery. This is a man who says Oh yeah, I'm for black people. Slavery should be taught in the schools just like the Holocaust. That means that they're not even teaching it like that in England. He's the king though. This is a man who's uh close confidant, Lord, I forgot his name. Lord something, man, got caught up in a scandal sectioning down little boys. And King Charles says that the guy's like a grandfather to him. So I wonder what they was doing. And this dumb broad has got the nerve to get on her knees, showing her teeth like a typical bedwench Negro that has no idea what she's doing, bowing down to the damn white man again. Nobody else is doing this but her black ass. Look at it, crawling on her knees. Thank you. She crawls on her knees just for him to touch her. Good Lord. Hold on, because I'll see a couple good comments in there. Yeah, y'all see the folly that's going on, man. Now, Tali, I didn't know that. Rabbi Shmuley Botek was a friend and handler of Michael Jackson and Senator Cory Booker, to name a few. Imagine that. You know, it's always some damn GMO small hat in the background, man, calling the shots, handling these Negroes, man. Case in point, we just talked about it this past, what was it, a week or so ago? Might have been in one of the classes. We was out teaching years ago, a couple years back, at the NBA All-Star game when it was out here in LA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sees brothers out on the streets. We're out by the Staples Center. He's walking in. Brother runs up, gives him the literature. Little small, pudgy, small hat. Grabs the literature, takes it out his hand, hands it back to Jake, and says, and tells Kareem, let's go. That's how these Negroes be operating, man. I mean, it's a little short little demon. Kareem is an educated man, probably in his damn late 60s by now. Should have no problem telling him, no, this is mine. What are you doing? Don't take that out of my hand. But no, he couldn't do it. Little white man took it out of his hand and gave it back. True story. So we see what happens when you get these type of people around you, man. Ye had one of his peoples was a handler too. See, all praises, man. Brother from the UK is on. He said they teach British history and kingship and queenship there. They ain't talking about no damn slavery over there. Yeah. Brother Mbanga Thwada. There you go. Imagine that. Black History Month is in September. Every show on TV of the whole month is based on slavery. a brutal reminder. A brutal reminder of what they do and what they did to us. See how they do, man? Just more traumatized thought. But let's finish looking at this goofy broad, man, crawling on the damn ground. This man said he's a descendant of Count Dracula and all kind of damn scandals is behind him, and she's out here acting like she just seen Yahweh Shai. She just seen Christ, man. Crawled on her knees. Disgusting. And you say our people don't have Stockholm syndrome. Our people don't need help. Our people ain't. See, unbelievable, man. I wanted to throw my damn phone when I seen that video. Look at this in Isaiah 60, man. This is how the Most High is going to deal with us. Isaiah 60:14, man. This sister has no idea, and she's not going to receive any of this. Isaiah 60:14, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. The roles are supposed to be reversed. They're going to bow down to us, man. That's why I don't trip about, brother, we out street teaching and all that, man, trying to get Esau to kiss and lick boots, man. That's not the authentic thing. You can tell me, well, that's a precursor. That's cool. I'm not mad at brothers that do it. I want the real thing, though. Sword to the neck if you don't. Look at that. Sword to the neck if you don't. Yahweh Shah said that in Luke 19:27. For those, my enemies which are not, that I shall reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Look here. Isaiah 16:12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall utterly be wasted. They're going to be destroyed, man, if they don't partake in this. Period. And here she is crawling on her knees. Probably, I'm going to leave that alone. Something sexual might have happened to her. The way she was screaming, acting a damn fool. Because the old decrepit hands of a white man touched you. Disgusting, man. The sons of also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Most High Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. But that's what we supposed to be waiting on, man. And she out here doing this foolishness. And if you brought that out to her, man, she would probably argue me down and tell me I'm a racist and that ain't right and blah, blah, blah. Look at this. In September 2022, Charles faced backlash for guest editing the UK's only black newspaper. So, brother got on here, man. Brother Mbanga says September is Black History Month. They got one black newspaper over there, man. And for their 40th year anniversary, they allowed this damn demon to edit and add his 2 cents in on a newspaper, which caused a little uproar. People's like, damn, can't nothing be sacred? Like, why has he got to touch on this? We got problems with him and his family. The queen is responsible for slavery and deaths of our people and everything else. And she ain't apologized and she's hoarding gold and our people are starving. Like, and this is how they do. They're bowing down. His brother was jet setting with Jeffrey Epstein, going to Pedo Island, caught up with underage girls. How they just swept that under the rug. This is a portion of this article, man. In 2018, The Guardian reported that Charles acknowledged the appalling atrocity of the slave trade and the unimaginable suffering it caused. And in June this year, a source told the Sunday Times that the prince wanted the slave trade to be taught in schools with as much recognition as the Holocaust. See how they get suppressed? He said that's what he wants, but they ain't did it yet. They ain't started it. Oh, he wants the slave trade to be taught in schools with as much recognition as the Holocaust. So clearly there is a suppression of slavery being taught and a upliftment of the Holocaust. And who's playing one-upmanship in regards to sufferings? Rabbi Shuli or Shamuli, whatever your name was. See, that's the damn psychological games these damn Edomites be playing, man. And want to sit back and victimize and say, you need to be educate Whoopie on more history. You can't tell us a damn thing when our history is purposely being suppressed and being controlled by you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Look at this. Calls grow to cancel Kevin Hart's comedy show in Egypt over Afrocentric views. If you haven't noticed, they are cracking down on anybody black speaking truth and consciousness. Now they're talking about Egyptians is over there talking about canceling Kevin Hart because he said the Egyptians was black. Look at it. Some Egyptians have taken to Twitter accusing the U.S. comedian of, quote, blackwashing Egyptian history. So they're over there believing that the Egyptians look like them. We don't even have to go to the scriptures. Y'all already know. Moses, mistaken for Egyptian. Exodus 4 tells you that he was black. I think it's in Genesis 50 when the Canaanites seen the the caravan of Israel going to bury Jacob. The Canaanites looked and said, "This is a great morning for the Egyptians." They thought they was Egyptian. Why? Because they was dark skin, brown skin. Paul mistaken for an Egyptian, right? I mean, let's stop the madness. The people over there are the results of the Mohammedan and the Crusade conquest with the Islam. You got Arabs over there. You got white Turks from the Ottoman Empire and the other Turkish empires over there. You got a conglomerate of people over there. You got some Hamites over there. You got some Israel over there. Where scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, I'm sure there's some small remnants of Israel over there. But the people over there that's claiming that Egypt, the Egyptians was white or Arab or looking like them is a damn lie. And the fact that Kevin Hart came out and said it, now they're talking about canceling him. Egyptians have taken to social media, calling for comedian Kevin Hart's debut show in the country to be canceled over his past comments in support of Afrocentrism on ancient Egypt. The fact that he supported the information, and I'm not going to defend it because guess what? The conscious community should be all up on it, right? Shouldn't they be on it? Let's see. Sarnetta. He Black News 102. It's the House of Consciousness, right? This is where all the comedic community goes. Look at this. Are they talking about Kevin Hart? Enter if you dare. Every man for himself. Bring your butt in here if you got what it takes. Who knows what they're talking about? Oh, this is 2 days ago. Sarah Sudan Seti destroyed the mighty Hebrew pseudo-Israelite teachings. So they're still trying to live off of the Israelites again. Anything else? A day ago, I knew Kakarek. I know where God is, and I have seen him. Oh, look at it. 23 hours ago, Hebrew Israelite murders MLK's mother. Are they for our people? And this dude got the nerve to be asking, are they for our people? You can't even stand up and defend your own doctrine when your quote unquote people are being attacked and canceled by Egyptians, saying that the Egyptians didn't have no Afrocentric features or legacy in Egypt. Are they defending them? Where are they at? Sister Naphtali and Sarnetta. Are there contradictions in the Bible? See, all they want to do is talk about the Bible, talk about Israelites. This is how you know that this is controlled opposition, man. This is controlled opposition. These guys don't have no damn backbone. You know, at least when our community is attacked, when people are coming after the Israelite community, when people are standing up talking about anybody that spoke truth in regards to the Israelites, we stand up and get that back. Yay, Kyrie, who else? There's been, Kendrick Lamar. Well, anytime anybody come up and they got something to say, man, the Israelite community joins in arms and say, that's one of ours, man, back up. Look at these Negroes, man. You don't see nothing talking about Kevin Hart at all. Nobody's out here trying to defend the truth about Egyptian history. And they can't say, well, we didn't hear. We didn't know nothing about it. Niggas is lying. But you see what it is. That's why I said controlled opposition, man. That's why you see all they do. Let's talk about the Israelites. Talk about the Israelites so we can get some views up. And you know there's no Israelites even over there talking about and debating and talking about them anymore. Because the gig is up. Everybody realized, okay, it was cool for a moment. You know, maybe 5 years ago when a big old Kemet versus Israel debate and all the other stuff was going on. And, you know, it changed nothing. The Israelites actually got even greater and larger and more awoke, which shows you that the information the brothers was presenting was superior to the folly that was coming about the mouths of the Kemetic community. But you would think they're gonna come to arms, man, and defend their. That's why I don't pay them no mind. Because if you can't stand up and defend this, leave it alone. It shows you, man, that they just being either paid or they just influenced or told. Slander the Israelites as much as you can, man. Keep them people, keep black folks away from even searching that out. Look at it. A hashtag calling for Hart's show to be canceled or boycotted has become one of the top trending topics in social media in Egypt over the past few days. One Twitter user said Afrocentrists want to steal and attribute Egypt's civilization to Africans and tell modern Egyptians that we are occupying Egypt from them. We must all participate in the campaign to cancel Kevin's concert. Again, I'm not going to defend them, but this is asinine. They said that they're not going to steal and attribute Egypt's civilization to Africans. Where is Egypt located? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. But you see what's going on, man. Notice when the FBI says about black identity extremists, know that this target's on everybody's back, man. That's why I said you can't try to play nice with this beast, man. You can't try to sit up there and kiss ass and do. When the target is on your back, man, it does not matter. That's why all these people, man, these celebs, man, they just come on home. Come on home and let the Israelites, the learned men of Israel, man, carry the heavy loads and get on the front lines because you're not prepared to deal with the demons and the damn attacks and the foolishness that comes along with it. All you need to do is plant the seed, make the proclamation, stand back and say, hey, brothers, get them for me. And I'll support y'all this way. Whoopie, Ye, Kyrie, Kendrick, whoever, if they still believe. I don't know. But you jump out the window and then they expect people to be like, oh, that's great. You found yourself. Great. Congratulations. No, they like, hell no, nigga. You're not finna come out here and talk that and you slandering these people. And they're not letting that go. The truth, they are not trying to let it come out. So there you have it. Let's move on. Look, Moorish Americans take over a rural gun range, sparking a strange showdown. So now even the Moors are getting under attack. Look at this. In Welcome, Maryland, of all places. Welcome, Maryland. How ironic. The complaints about the property on Fire Tower Road were urgent, but not too far out of the ordinary in this rural stretch of southern Maryland. Ear-splitting gunfire, endangered cows, a stray bullet that pierced a neighbor's equipment shed. But that was before the would-be heirs to a mythical North African empire moved in, claiming their dominion extends not only over the lost island of Atlantis, but also over 5 acres in Charles County. So, they try to make the Moors sound all crazy, right? But here's the deal. This is a brother's land that has always been, everybody in this community, everybody shoots guns, everybody use their land, do their thing, right? But it's a problem when more and more Jakes start coming through. They start seeing all these Jakes going over there, and they said in the article, and they got a video in the article. The problem is that these Jakes was coming with heavy artillery, and it was either one of the Edomites that filed a complaint. He was like, "I shoot on my land too, but I ain't got AR-15s and all this other stuff, and." He talking about the gunshots. It's just too much, and he had to move his cows out the way for fear that they might get shot. So look at this. The episode began when gun enthusiasts started getting together on Sundays for target practice at the wooded property of a 64-year-old Byron Bell. So they over there at his property, and the reason why they've been through lawsuits and thousands of dollars and all that. And he said the problem was that he thought that they were trying to tell him what he could and couldn't do on his land. But now that it's gone too, he said, even the Jake said, oh, this gone too far now. But I think he's meaning it like they've been going at it too long and spending too much money on lawyers and all this other stuff trying to preserve their right to shoot. But the bottom line is that them Edomites, man, don't want Jakes over there shooting them guns, and they scared as hell. So it says it was after county officials took action, deeming the site an unlawful firing range and filing an injunction to stop it from operating in September, that events took several unexpected turns. That was when a group calling itself Moorish Americans, an offshoot of the extremist sovereign citizen movement, whose members believe they are immune from dealings with U.S. legal and financial systems, essentially took over the range, declaring it, quote, protected under consular jurisdiction of Morocco. So, they go over there and start claiming that sovereign citizen madness. So they going through all of that. But the bottom line is that the Esau is scared that Jace got guns and had bigger guns and bigger, longer clips than they got, and they said we got to stop these niggas from coming over here shooting. So everybody's a target, man. Nobody's safe in your quote unquote consciousness. And you're really not gonna be safe until you come under the banner of being an Israelite and keep the faith of Yahweh Shai and the commandments. Other than that, you part of the 2/3 and you're gonna be die anyway. But they catching all this hell, it's going down. All right. It's going down, y'all. It's going down. So not only are we seeing celebrities now being targeted and looked at, you know what I'm saying, as far as what's coming out of their mouths, and they're always trying to find a new victim to try to slander and say you can't say something that's factual against some another people, right? You can't shoot your guns unless Esau has it to match and he doesn't feel intimidated. You can't claim so-called Black history without getting canceled. I mean, if the writing isn't on the wall, man, I don't know what is. You feel me? So, episode 173 in the books, DSTN. Don't shoot the messenger. In effect, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why you have a shot, man? Everybody good? Everybody good? Yeah, you already know, Natali. You already know. Indeed, good brother. Yeah, so that's it for your brother, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Most High willing, 3 p.m. for our closing Sabbath class. Other than that, man, y'all have a blessed evening. Shabbat Shalom.